Hey, this is Mike.
And this is Charles Woods.
And it's a really sad occasion, but I felt like we needed to do like a little mini podcast today in honor of the late Prince Rogers Nelson. It feels funny even saying that, geez, who passed away earlier today. And, I don't know if we made it aware, if we made folks aware yet, Charles, but we've been working on doing longer behind the scenes podcasts of important black films. And recently we had the chance to chat with Bill Butler, the famed cinematographer.
This has just been exciting for me. I know for you as well, but
for those who don't know, Bill Butler is the Oscar-nominated cinematographer of a lot of your favorite movies, including Francis Ford Coppola's The Conversation and The Rain People. He shot movies with William Friedkin. He shot 3 movies for Steven Spielberg, including Jaws. And he's earned a reputation as somebody who's really great at working with first-time directors, including John Badham of Bingo Long and the Traveling All-Stars. I mean, so it was a great conversation, right, Charles?
Oh, he had us really spinning just listening to his fascinating stories, and it was just great hearing this background on things we've been, stories, movies we've been looking to find more about, and so many of the people involved in these films are no longer with us. We're so fortunate to have Mr. Butler and give us the time he did. It was just fantastic.
Yeah, so Bill, he's 95 years young, and he's got a lot of great memories. These are stories that I don't think I've heard from anyone else about working on the movie Graffiti Bridge. So without further ado, here for the next 10, 15 minutes or so are Bill Butler's recollections of working with Prince on Graffiti Bridge.
Oh, Graffiti Bridge wasn't a movie. That was just a lot of fun. They shot Graffiti Bridge so that they could get the music. You got to know that.
I didn't. I know they wanted Prince to direct. So
they hired somebody else to shoot it and fired him, and so I went. And the reason I took the job mainly was that I used to go around and talk to all the schools, I still do. And so I went out to Chicago University, out to USC. Chicago, where'd I get Chicago in there? I went out to USC and talked to the film school long time ago. And in the audience, the big audience, had a big auditorium, there was a guy listening to me. When he graduated, he went to work for Prince. He was their film guy. So when Prince, I don't know how they hired this other guy, but they didn't, that didn't work out. So he called me, and he says, "Remember me?" and blah, 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 blah. And so here's a guy that was a student in the audience that I would talk to, was hiring me to shoot a movie.
Wow.
I thought that was a kick.
Did you have fun making that film, Bill?
Was fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all fun. Oh, sure, it's fun. You don't take it serious. The big job, the big thing that Prince wanted, he wanted his scenes to be black. He had black audience, had black players, black guys playing the instruments, and he wanted them black. Now wait a minute, the other cameraman couldn't give you that. No wonder you don't put any light on them, and they're black, and you want. I said, "Give me a fucking break," I didn't say that, but so I lit it in such a way that it looked black. There's plenty of black in the frame, and you could still see the guys. And he was delighted. I mean, it's a matter of English,
understanding what he's actually asking for.
Dialogue, yeah, whatever.
Now, I remember back in the day, they used to sell scripts of Graffiti Bridge, and it was like 45 pages long. It wasn't like a really formatted script. It was sort of like a treatment or an outline.
He didn't even care whether, here again, he's directing, right? And he got to know me as we were shooting. At first, I first went to work for him. He ignored me, totally, so that's okay. I wasn't there to do anything great anyway, because there was no script, really. So we're just shooting him dancing. That's really what it was all about, which was a lot of fun because he's great. Mm-hmm. And so as time went by, he got where he would do something, then he'd come over and say, well, how was that? Should I do it over? I mean, the guy gets to trust you, then he comes and he's your buddy.
Right, and he was filming.
Big difference.
Now,
anyway, but it was fun. It was nothing but fun. You're just shooting some guy dancing, so you do that in a. There's the case where you use the camera in any way you want. I mean, there you're not going to overplay the play. You're not going to take away from the play. You can't.
Because
you can't.
It's like a music video.
The bigger you go, the better.
It's sort of like a music video. Now, did you ever shoot any music videos?
No, I haven't. I thought it would be fun, but never really did.
So, do you follow the box office receipts of these movies after they come out?
If you're interested in things like Graffiti Bridge, what you probably like to hear was that we would work all day long, and you work hard. If you're doing dance scenes, he would get up on top of a car and dance on top of a car. Now, with those high-heeled shoes of his, you can't believe it. He would get up there and dance all day long. At the end of the day, I mean, everybody wants to go home, right? Mm-hmm. Prince never went home. Prince would stay up all night. He'd be in the bars up in the town or even in his place. He would never go to bed. He would be up all night long. We're going to come in, and go to work 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. You would see his car leaving the studio, going to a farmhouse that's about a quarter mile down the road where he lived, and he'd go in that farmhouse. You'd set up, and you'd set up until about an hour and a half. You'd be ready. Here he'd be, full of it, man. Dance all day long.
Wow.
How in the hell did he do that?
Wow. Now, you've worked with a lot of brilliant people.
Well, that's the thrill. That's what's so fun. You're working with talent, great talent. You're working with the biggest names, Jack Lemmon. You on down the line. I've done so many. I've worked with people that they're no longer living. Some of them, but man, brilliant. They excite you. It's exciting for you just to be on the set with them. I mean, it brings you up to your best, your top. You don't want to make a single error, a single mistake. You don't want to do anything wrong. You're trying to do your best job for them because they're so great. And it's exciting. So the adrenaline that runs through you is enormous. And when you're working, there is nothing more fun because you're full of adrenaline every single day.
So what was how do you know when you're done filming Graffiti Bridge when there's no real script or no treatment? At what point?
When Prince quits dancing, that's when you're done. That's easy.
I'm just like, are you just like adding more songs to get it up to the right running time, or I was actually at the premiere of Graffiti Bridge at Radio City.
You're kidding.
Years ago, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I met T.C. Ellis. He was so excited. It was such an exciting night, because he had brought all these, half of Minneapolis was at it wasn't Radio City, it was at the Ziegfeld Theater. and they said Prince was in the back or whatever, but he didn't stay for the whole movie. But I met all the sub band, the New Power Generation, I guess is what they were calling it.
That would be exciting, yeah.
But yeah, so it always struck me as an odd film because Purple Rain is such a classic, and then
Purple Rain was a little different. Purple Rain actually had a sort of a script, Purple Rain was different because it had some direction. That you got to Graffiti Bridge, there was none. There was none. It wasn't even close to Purple Rain in its organization.
And then it seems like right after that, Prince had a falling out with the record label. But it always was interesting to me to see, like, if Prince could have been that transcendent, musician, actor, director,
Yeah, Prince is too much Prince. He can't escape himself. He didn't. He wasn't that much into movies. He wanted to be. But he wasn't.
We just wanted to share that with you. And, when I'm thinking about other stuff, clearly Purple Rain is something to revisit. Under the Cherry Moon, Graffiti Bridge. There's some videos that I guess they'll be on YouTube or maybe you can find them. So the Sign of the Times documentary, music was a film of the concert that was released. I don't know if it's been officially released in the States yet on DVD. If it is, it's in a deluxe box set. And, for the bootleg people, the Love Sexy Tour, there's a really nice video of that, home video of that. And my favorite is the Prince on Muppets Tonight. I'm sure somebody will be uploading that one. I don't know how long it'll stay up, but if you, that just shows his sense of humor. That's something that is often forgotten about because he was so mystical, is that he really had a nice sense of humor about him. But, he'll be sadly missed, greatly missed.
Well, in closing, I just want to say this is a time when the doves do cry and they're shedding so many tears that there's a purple rain. Here's a kiss to you. Thank you, Prince.
Amen.